Hey peeps, it's JJ with Baby Girl Crafting, and today we are going to be making some bookmarks using the single crochet stitch. So I'll post a picture here of some of the ones that I've done. I believe it's probably going to go here. We'll see how that works, as far as if I put my finger in the right place this time. Anyway, we're going to be using the Caron 1 pound pink. I thought it might show up if you saw my other video, which I'll put of my Michaels haul. You'll see I'll put a tag that comes up here, and you can go watch that. It's actually kind of a long video, but it was just kind of a fun shopping trip to Michaels. But this is episode 2 of our Trying to Make It Through Crochet series, learning to crochet. So learn to crochet with me. So let me go ahead and we're going to switch views. I'm still working on that view, and you can see what we're doing. So here we go. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our slip stitch, and this is how I make it. I just make a cross where I cross it this way and then I cross over. Then I go under the first loop, grab that, pull it through, and there's our slip stitch. Oops, wrong one. Usually it works better if we do it the other way, but okay, so there's our slip stitch. Then you'll need to get comfortable fingering position, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this is not too tight. We want it to be loose but fitting. Oh, and I should mention that this is not the size that you should typically do your bookmark in. I'm using a medium weight 4 weight, and I'm using a 5mm hook, so this is going to be a very, very thick and a very big bookmark, but I thought that I would do it for the purposes of this video. It would be better so you could see what I was doing. So the first thing we're going to do is chain 10. So we have 1, and chain is just yarn over and pull through. Oops, gotta get used to this. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, look at how wide our bookmark is going to be, and you can see that it's going to be very thick. But I used fingering weight and light weights for the ones that you saw in the other video. You're then going to chain 1 more to go up. So that is our base chain. We're then going to add 1 more so that we can go up. And I don't know if this is necessary, but I do it. I'm making my stitches a little tighter because I know these are way too big. So don't make your stitches tight. Make them loose. Then we're just going to go through the top. And this is where we're going to do the single crochet, and we're going to go back. So not crossover. We're going to go through our chain stitch, yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Go to the next. We're going to go through the chain stitch, pull, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Get me some yarn. I'm doing this off center of my body, so it's kind of awkward, but I'm going to get better at this. So we're going to go through our chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through our chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. In case you're not seeing, I'm just going through the top loop right now. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. And we're going to make, since we had 10 chain stitches, because that 11th didn't count, we're going to have 10 of these single crochet stitches. So again, through the chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and our last we're going to go through the chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we should have 10 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So awesome, we did good. Fairly even. And then we're going to chain 1. And basically we're going to forget about those chain 1s. We're not counting them in the stitch. It's just a way of elevating it so that we get up to the next row. And after the chain 1, we turn our work. And we're going to go back and forth. And basically there's no set amount of stitches for how tall you want your bookmark. That kind of depends on the book that you want it for. So if you want it for a large book, basically I set mine, my bookmarks are all different sizes because I did them for different books. I measured the book and then I measured the bookmark. I made my bookmarks the size of the book, and then exactly the size of the pages in the book, and then I will be adding a tassel to the top, and we'll do that in a different video. Today we're just making the base of a single crochet rectangular bookmark. So nothing complicated, something you can feel accomplished when you complete, but that's pretty awesome. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this again just one more time, and then I'm going to set you on your own and we'll come back when it's close to being done. Alright, so we're going to go into this first stitch, not the stitch that is on the hook, or not the loop that's on the hook or that single crochet we did, but the first stitch. And we're going to go under and go through both and pull, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Do that again since I was off camera. You're going to go through both of there's basically a V. See how there's a V right there? We're going under both sections of the V, then we're going to yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. And then that makes a V up here that will be for our next row. The most important part of this is to make sure that you don't lose your stitches, or the quantity of stitches. So you need to keep track and count at the end of every row. When I first started, which I obviously haven't been doing this for very long, I didn't think that counting stitches was important, and I made my first baby afghan, and it's a little skew-wonky because I lost track of stitches. And when I was doing my bookmark, I lost one of my bookmarks because I switched to a smaller thread. It's the first time I've ever used such a small thread, and a small hook, and it's the first time I'd ever used such a small hook. I found that I lost my stitches, even though there was only 10. So I was like, oh, not good. So you really need to make sure you're watching your stitches, and I'll show you where I have a tendency of losing my stitches. So I'm still just doing go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. This is where I have a tendency of forgetting to do my stitch. Now, with this larger yarn, it's pronounced, it stands out. But when it's on the smaller yarn and you're using a smaller yarn with a smaller needle, this stitch sometimes feels hidden. So you got to remember to go here, and you want to go through the V. So you have your V, both sides. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2. Then count your stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're good. And then chain 1. And then turn your work. Now the reason I went with 10 stitches, actually it's about half this size if you use the small or the thinner weight. It's just closing that hole. If you use the thinner weight, it's about this size right here. So it's a good size for a bookmark. This is a little huge, and I'm not sure if I'll keep this or keep doing something else with it. But I'm going to go ahead and I would say stitch about 5 inches. So go back and forth just like we've been doing until you get about 5 inches, and then we'll come back. But I'm going to do one more row with you guys just so you can see. Now I hold my yarn weird, I guess. I don't know. I put it under my pinky or over my pinky, and then under my ring or my middle finger, and then over my pointer finger, and I use that to kind of control the tension. Tension's important. So again, we want to go under our first, and make sure you get that first one, not skip and get the second. You want that first one, otherwise you'll come out with not enough stitches. So yarn over, pull through 2. Oops, that's double crochet. Boo. And you yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2, and go through your stitch. Once you get to the second and rows and beyond, doing this is a little bit easier. It's a little bit than doing it straight in the chain, but yarn over, pull through 2, and remember not to pull your yarn too tight. I'm struggling with that just a little bit right now because I know this bookmark is huge. So this is a great way for practice, but then we really want to practice on a smaller. This is a great way to start utilizing some different skills, using some thinner yarn and practicing with a smaller hook if you've never done that before, which was very new to me. And we're going to come back, and I haven't finished that bookmark, and I'll do that in the end too. And I'll come back and show you what I've been doing with that, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. But for now, we're almost to the end of this row. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then we're at the end again. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, count our stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and chain 1 and turn our work. And that's what we have so far. So go ahead and do about 5 inches, 6, I mean as tall as you want your bookmark, and then we'll come back and I'll just kind of do the last row and show you how I finish off. Okay, so we're back. I've added a couple more rows, not a lot, because I've decided I'm not going to keep this like this. But I'm going to show you what we do for the top, what I do for the top, so that I can add a tassel. So I want to make a spot where I can come in and add my tassel. So I have chained 1, turned my work, and now I'm ready to make another row. So I'm going to go into the first, do a single crochet into the first 5. Then I'm going to pause. So 1, 2. So how are you guys doing? Have you gotten the hang of this? I don't know if you guys have been doing single crochet for a while. For me, this is my nemesis stitch. I don't know why, but I've always struggled with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Mostly I just didn't like the projects that I would start, and I didn't like it. I couldn't get my stitches even, which is why I did the double crochet first. I seemed to have more control with it, and it helped me get practicing. It helped me practice with my tension and things like that, which I now think that my single crochet looks a lot better and a lot more even, so that's pretty cool. So we've done 5 stitches. Now I want you to slip stitch 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slip stitching is just, you know, yarn over and pull through. Now I know I just put in an extra one, so now I have 5, but that's okay. Actually 5 is fine too, but I wouldn't do more than 5 or you'll have a very big loop. But you need at least 4, especially with the smaller yarn, just so you have a little loop right there. Then you're going to come back down into your 5th, or the 6th spot, put your hoop through, pull through, and just do a single crochet. So yarn over and pull through 2, and then go ahead and finish off that row. So yarn over, pull through 2, through the hoop or through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and maybe this one will, no, oops, gotta catch that second V, part of the V, there we go. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So this gives us just this little hoop right here. Now when you're using a smaller yarn, this is not near as pronounced, but it's pronounced enough that you can tie a ribbon or a tassel, some kind of a charm can go there, and it just kind of adds some finishing touches to your bookmark. So here what you do is you're going to finish off, so you pull through, you snip your work, and then there you go. Now we still have this tail down here, so you'll want to take, let's see if I have it over here, show you how to do that. My little case for my embroidery stuff, or my crochet stuff, and I don't know if I don't have my needles in here, I apologize. So we'll have to do weaving in your ends in the next video. But here you would weave in your ends so that this isn't seen, and then you have your bookmark. Alright, so, okay, so I thought I would show you, we'll do this up here. This is one of the bookmarks that I made. And as you can see, it measures, this is the first time I've used the cotton. And I'll tell you, this is about 1.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And it is made out of the Peaches and Cream. What's the color? Oasis, which I really, really like. I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. I thought it would make a good bookmark, so that's what that is. This is the first one that I made, so I didn't put a stitch in the spot in the top for it, and it's not 10 stitches wide because it was a thicker yarn, and I was doing size as opposed to the amount of stitches. So you can determine how far apart you want it. This is also a 4 medium weight, so it's a thicker bookmark as well. So not necessarily the best thing for, more for a journal that's more loose as opposed to a paperback book. But I liked it, and it turned out really kind of pretty. Then let's put this aside. This was my first attempt. I'll show you. Whee! This is my first attempt at using a smaller weight, a thinner yarn. I've always been intimidated by thinner yarns, but with doing these YouTube channels, I've decided I want to learn and I want to grow on how I do things. So this is something I picked up at Michael's the other day on clearance, and it's hoops and threads, or loops and threads, and I got it for like $1.27 for 678 yards. It is a fingering weight. Is it fingering weight? See, it's 85% acrylic, 15% nylon. Oh no, that's to use the wrap. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's a super fine. It's a 1, and it suggested using a 3.5mm hook, which is what I used. But this is where I didn't count my stitches, and you can see I actually had to take part of it apart, but you can see how my stitches kind of go in and out, in and out. So it's not a very clean looking bookmark. I then went around with a single crochet on the outside and gave it a border trying to clean it up, which did a little bit of help, but it's really kind of ugly. So that's why counting stitches are so important. On this one, I didn't tie my ends yet. I did go ahead and do the little loop like I said at the top. You see that? And that's, see, you can see it's not near as pronounced, but it's perfect for the bookmark. Counting my stitches, I have not finished this one yet. This is the one I'm currently working on, but look at how much cleaner that looks. Not only that, I'm better at the tension on it. Oh wait, I think I was double crocheting this one. This is all single crochet, so I think it looks a lot nicer. My Well, that's just crooked. It's not that there's a problem. So there's much cleaner lines here. So I like that. I haven't put the loop at the top because I want this one to be much larger. It's for something else. Actually, I love changing my mind in the middle of doing these videos. I think it's funny. Let's go ahead. We'll just go ahead and put in the loop. When I'm not going to be working on a project, I just pull the loop that I'm on out really big so it doesn't pull out. And that's what I do. Alright, so we're just going to do this row. So we're going in the first. I don't know if you'll be able to see because it's such thin yarn. But I'm doing a double crochet, so I'm going in. Oops. Nope, I did that right. Pull through 2. I'm going to go ahead and put the loop in the top of this one so you can kind of see. So the thing I have trouble with on this is watching my tension. My tension, I want it to get much looser when I'm using this smaller thread or this thinner yarn. Alright, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to do one more. I do have this, I have 10 columns on this one. So then to put it in, I'm going to chain stitch 4, actually, well, 1, 2, need to get up here so I don't lose my tension, 3, 4, then I'm going to take it into the 6th stitch on the row, and I lost my tension a little bit, fix that. Then we're going to go through 7. So I don't know if you can see how much more difficult it is, even for me to see it. I have a newfound respect for those people who make doilies. I mean, it's fun playing with this yarn, but boy, if it's a little bit harder. At least for me. And this is where I talked about that it's harder. I often can lose my stitch. It's right here. It just kind of blends in. I have to go find it. Oops, that's not it. Okay, it doesn't always take this much time to do this, but the camera's in the way. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then we're just going to chain 1 to end. My handy dandy little snips. Pull that out, tighten it. Alright, now we have our little loop right there. And we have our bookmark. I'm going to move this one because I don't like it, actually. Alright, so I'm going to show you what to do before I do my ends in. When I say you need a little embroidery needle or whatever, you want one with a big eye on it, and I do have some. I just have these little plastic ones. I'm still crocheting with like the first little kit that I bought. I don't have anything real special. Like this little beginner's kit type thing. So this is the needle that I use. It's plastic. It's got a big old eye on it. Oh, you know what? This might not work for this. I might have to get a smaller needle because this is so tiny. This works really good for just about any yarns. I have a bigger one too, so if you're using big looper yarns. But I think I'm going to have to get an actual embroidery needle because this thread is just too thin and I'm going to stretch my stitches. So I do think I'm going to wait and do that as soon as I can find a darning needle. Which I probably have with my cross stitch, so we will be okay. Oh, what I wanted to show you though is I got these when I was at Michael's on clearance. These are just some tassels. And I thought that I'm not ready to pull out the tassel maker and start making my own tassels yet, so I wanted to see. I thought this would be a great way to finish off this little bookmark. Now it has a cute little tassel on it. Of course it'll help when I tie in the ends, it'll look prettier. So there's your bookmark with a little tassel on it. I'll take some pictures of it at the end. So yay! So let me know what bookmarks you make. I'm interested. How did you like doing the single crochet? Did you find it easy? I know I'm probably weird in finding that it took forever, that it was hard. But let me know what you think. And I know that right now we're just using some tassels that I bought, but we are going to do a tutorial on tassels, but I got so many other things on my list to get done for you guys that one's going to take a little while, or be something that I do. Ooh, that might be something I could do on the cruise too. We'll have to see. I might come home with no videos from my cruise, or I might come home with 1,000,000 videos from my cruise. We'll see. Depends on how fun the cruise is. Alright, so later peeps.